Hey everyone, welcome back to Two Old Crows Homestead. This is Shelly. I'm sitting on a swing out in the backyard, and I'm like, every time I sit in the swing I just want to swing, but I realize that might mess up the video and make you all sit there and think, why doesn't she stop swinging? So I'm gonna try not to swing. So recently I watched a video by the Modern Yeoman. If you haven't seen his channel, go check him out. He's very, I think the reason that, he's got a lot of great information about, homesteading ideas and stuff like that. But I think the reason that I really like his channel is because he's such a good storyteller. Like, he just, I don't know. I just love to watch his channel, because I feel like I'm, like part of this journey that they're going on or whatever. And it's just really neat. He's a great storyteller, but go check him out. But anyways, I was watching a video that he put out recently, and it was they've been on their homestead for a year, and he had found some footage from when they first got there, when they first got their property. And so it was kind of a comparison of, the progress that they've made over a year. And I thought, oh my gosh, that's such a great idea. Why didn't I go around and just videotape? And even, this whole YouTube thing has just been like a recent thing. Even to just have that for our record, to go around and, see what we had started off with or whatever. And I didn't do that. But, so let me think. We moved in here. We closed on this farm at the end of March and moved in here, maybe the first weekend in April. So, April, May, June, July. So we're at 4 months. We're coming right up on being here for 4 months. So this video is really going to be just kind of like that video to go back and look back on. It's just going to be, from the very start. It's just going to be what happened from the very start. Now, of course, there are some things that we have made some changes to. We do have the chickens out here, and, the little pen that they're in, and the chicken coop. And then we also have the turkey coop, and the area where my little experimental garden is at. We've already made some changes, but over the course of the year, I think that we're going to see some big changes. And I really want to be able to come back in a year's time and look at this and just compare and see how far we've come in a year's time. So, yeah, let's get to it. So this is the backyard. I've already done some footage of that whole area up front where I want to clean that up and put, this area right up through here. I want to put an herb garden through there, and then clean up the flower beds in the front. So I already have that footage. Right now, this is our back patio, and we have our little chicks out here right now because we actually found a rat snake in our hen house, or in our chicken coop, hen house, whatever you want to call it. And I don't believe that it will do anything to harm our chickens. It might get in there and get some eggs or something, but it could definitely do something to one of our chicks. And it was a pretty good sized snake. It didn't look like it had eaten anything recently, but one of our chicks is missing. But honestly, I don't think that the snake got it. I think it was something else, or it's ran away or got out of the pen or something. But anyways, let's see. Let's just start over here. So here's the garage, and again, I've already got some footage of the inside of the garage, where we're going to be cleaning that up. But this was all open. Now we have the fence up for the chickens. There's a play for it for the kids. That was here when we bought the property. So this whole area, the area over here where the garden, where my little mini garden is at, that was actually a horse paddock, I think is what you would call it. It had those big, you know, like those big fence panel things, like kind of what the same kind of fencing that gate is this gate is made out of. It was those kind of big panels that they had up here, and they kept horses in there. The neighbors actually complained that they kept the horses in there all the time instead of out here in the pasture that's down that hillside, and we'll walk over there in a minute. I'm not really sure why they did that. They kept them in there a lot. I think they had 2 or 3, and it created a smell because they were in that little confined area, just like right here. I don't get it. But anyway, also when we moved in, the backyard was not fenced in. We did that because we have dogs. So we completely fenced in the backyard. There was, however, on this side, all of those T-posts were already there with an electric fence. So the pasture was fenced in. This area, okay, that little mobile home right there, that is not ours. That's just like a little square out of our property. Our property completely surrounds that area. However, all the way back, the road kind of lines down here, and all the way back up to there, there's another mobile home down there that is on our property. So our property line, there's a creek that goes down into this area, down, and our property line is at that creek. There's another creek that comes off from this side downhill, pretty steeply downhill, and meets right there, and that's the corner. So that's the corner of our property. In this area right here, there's kind of a ridge right there. Just over that ridge, a previous owner tried to install a pond, which didn't work. It didn't hold water. Right now, we're not doing anything with the pasture. We did have, while we were on vacation, we hired the kid across the street from us to come over here and bush hog the main part of this field behind me, the one I was just showing you. Probably have him do that again until ultimately we want to get sheep, and we want them to keep this grazed down. But right now, especially, let's see, well, you can't really see it. The area that's right back here on the other side of this tree, it is really grown up right there. And I'm thinking that that's probably because that's where the fingers for our septic system is at. It's really grown up, and the plants, the grass or whatever has gone to seed there. And sheep don't really like the way that tastes. So we're probably going to have him come and mow that down again until we get to the point where we're ready for sheep. Just the fact, check out. Look at turkey babies. See the turkey babies? I just love those turkeys. With having gotten the turkeys and more chicks and the 3 little piggies, that's enough for right now. Like, we're keeping our head above water. We're able to take care of them. We've got to get, the pigs are still kind of small, and we've got to get them into an area that we want to keep them. But for right now, everything's going well. We built this coop for them, and Randy left them, or kept them in the coop for about a week, I think. And so now when we let them out, when it starts to get dark, they just go right back in there. Even today, our neighbor's dog, we have a new neighbor over here, and their dog and our dog, their Cooper, the big baby, Wallering in the yard, they don't get along very well, and probably just because they don't know each other. But they run up and down that fence line just like growling and barking at each other. And today when that happened, all these turkeys ran and jumped back into the coop. So that's good. They know where to go when they need protection, and that's all working out really well. So okay, on to the next thing. And of course, there's piggies. Hey piggies! Hey piggies! Hey piggies! I know their names are Mo, Larry, and Curly. I'm just not sure which is which. I want to say that one's Mo, but again, I'm not sure. I'll have to ask Randy when he comes out. Look at this amazing job that these pigs have done rooting up the ground. Now, the whole idea of the pigs rooting up the ground makes Randy kind of crazy. And mainly just because he doesn't like his yard tore up. But we got these guys to do some work for us. I'm going to take you back and show you where, we want them to do their work. However, this area right here, I'm going to show you right behind me. This area right here is where I want my garden next year. I really want to take the pigs, before we take them back behind the barn, I want to take the pigs and move their pen up there and let them root up all of that ground, because I want to do sheep mulching. And so I want them to root up all of this ground where I want the garden to be, and then I want to put down cardboard and then put compost and just layer all the stuff, because I'm in the middle of doing this permaculture course, and that's one of the first classes that is taught is about, or in one of the first classes he teaches about sheep mulching and how to do it. So I want to do that and prepare all of this ground back here for the growing season in the spring. And there's a few things I would like to plant this fall. I just got to get Randy on board with letting them tear up our yard, because he is not. So I don't know, we'll see. Okay, so this is the barn. The previous owners installed, hold on a minute. The previous owners installed these stalls. There's 3 of them. And then there's this stall over here, which is where we had initially kept the turkeys when we first brought them home before we got their coop built. The barn has electricity and it has water. However, it also has a leak. So as you can see, there's water coming in. And we have not yet figured that out, where that's coming from. So there are spiders like all around. There's like webs and stuff all around this area out here. And I know that it may sound stupid for me to, be a homesteader and be afraid of spiders. I'm just going to say it. I'm afraid of spiders. I don't like spiders. I don't want nothing to do with spiders. They just creep me out. It was probably too many horror movies from when I was a child or whatever. But actually, the other night, so whatever day it was, I want to say it was Tuesday or Wednesday. Let's see, Randy had to work Wednesday. It was probably Wednesday. Crystal comes running inside. She had been out there trying to put the chickens up, and she comes running inside screaming that there's a snake in the chicken coop. And it was a pretty good sized one. It was probably 5 to 6 feet long, and it was coiled up right beside our chicken brooder. But I went out to deal with that, and snakes don't bother me as long as I know what kind of snake it is. I mean, even poisonous snakes don't bother me, because I just know to stay away from them and give them a wide berth and let them do their thing. I know that snakes serve a purpose, that they, do a job, and I don't like mice. I'm not scared of mice like I am spiders, but snakes generally take care of, I'm trying not to step. I'm looking down to make sure, because this is really overgrown out here. And plus, I don't really want to walk down in there because ticks are so bad. However, I know that snakes serve a purpose. But when I saw this snake, it's generally a rule, kind of, that, and I'm saying this like I'm some kind of expert. I am not an expert on snakes. I don't want to be an expert on snakes. But generally, poisonous snakes have a triangular head because they've got those big glands in their head where the venom comes from. And then non-poisonous snakes usually have a narrow head. Okay. So when I saw this snake, plus the markings that it had on it, I was probably 95% certain that this snake was not a poisonous snake. It had some like orange markings on it. It was mostly black. I kind of figured that it was a rat snake, or what some people around here call a chicken snake. It wasn't. I know that black snakes, solid black snakes, or sometimes around here they call them king snakes, they are good. Don't kill a black snake. Just don't. Black snakes will kill other venomous snakes, and they also get rid of rodents and all of that kind of stuff. They're just all around good to have around. Now, that being said, all of them, they like eating eggs, they like eating baby chicks. It is like a food chain out here or whatever, and that's fine. They'll typically leave bigger chickens alone. They have been known to eat bigger chickens, but by and large they don't. And I've heard many people around here talk about snakes getting into hen houses and the chickens killing them. So when I saw him, I have like a potato rake, and I got that out and I tried to gently pick him up, and I was just gonna take him out of the chicken coop, which he slithered away and got away from me, and kind of went off into the wall of the garage, and I couldn't find him after that. And it wasn't until then that I noticed that one of my little chicks was gone. But again, like I said, he did not have any fat places on him that made it look like he had eaten anything recently. And he wasn't anywhere close to the eggs. So, yeah. And I don't know why I went into all of that, except to say, I don't like spiders. Snakes don't bother me. Spiders do. I don't like anything about them. I'm one of those people that if I see like an infestation of spiders, I'm probably going to set it on fire. I ain't going to lie. I can't even deal. I don't like them. I don't want anything to do with them. Spiders, ugh. No, not for me. All right. So I'm out here. I'm right outside of the barn here. I don't know why they have this like little porch looking. I don't know. I don't know if they used to come out here and sit. I don't understand that, but whatever. So I'm right outside the barn. This is the kind of entryway to the pasture. Actually, on the other side of that fence area, it's all open over there, and you can get a tractor down through here. And that line right there, so that's the fence line. Our property line goes down past that, like over the ridge. But in that fence line, all through here, all the way up, especially right in that area right there, is blackberries, wild blackberries, the kind with thorns that tear you up. And we have been out twice picking blackberries and come back overloaded. Here's some more right back there. There's a whole area right there with blackberries, but we've come back overloaded with ticks. I love blackberries. I hate ticks. This whole area right here is like a bunch of trees, and I haven't been down inside of that, but I think that there is like a sinkhole in there, maybe. It's like it's a little bit lower elevation than the whole rest of this. The fence line goes around that whole tree area, and they probably did that to keep the horses out, which I do not blame them at all, because the ground down in there is kind of unsteady. So this area right here is where the pond was dug out, and that's kind of marshy in there when it's really rainy, but it doesn't hold water. I kind of wish it did. I would love to have catfish, but it does not. So I'm going back in the barn. See that spider? See that spider? Ugh! It just creeped me out. I know it's a tiny one, I know, but like it even, I will walk through the door here, but it even gives me pause because I'm like, what if it jumps on me? I just don't like spiders. Here's a shot of our whole backyard from the barn. My tomatoes are doing fantastic. My peppers that are right there are not. All right, so now I'm going into the area back behind the barn. This area right here is where the pigs are going to start out. We are going to have them, and I'll show you this as we go down, but we're going to have them clear all of this out down this hill. This is a little path that runs along the side of our property. This whole area back in there, I don't know if you can see, there is a fence. Where's that? I don't think you can see it. Yeah, right there. See the, right there. See the post? That's our property line. So, along this fence line is all of these piles of horse bedding and manure. And it actually goes down the hill down there. Here's an entryway into our pasture. And then over here is a big old pile of trash. I'm not sure what is in there. It looks like there's a bunch of wood, there's a bunch of weeds, there's some, I don't know, lawn furniture. Looks like barbed wire. I don't know what else in there. Every time I come back here, I get covered in ticks. I probably should have sprayed my shoes, but I did not. Okay, so we're going to set up paddocks. Like this whole area right here is kind of overgrown. And just to orient you again, that area right there is all of those trees that I told you that there was like a sunken in area that they've got a fence going around. And that's the back, that's the pasture, not the back pasture, but that's the big pasture. We've got all these trees down through here. And I hear something over here in the trees, and it's kind of freaking me out a little bit. Anyway, so we're going to create paddocks coming down from the barn after we burn this out or get that whatever is going on there. It actually looks like it has a blackberry bush in it. But we're going to create these areas down the hillside here that the pigs will move them gradually down the hillside. As you can see, there's this area, there's all these piles. You can kind of see straw. I don't know, can you see that? Yeah, I think you can see it. You can kind of see straw back through there, and then even it's even down here in this tree line down here. And that's all manure that was brought back here when they would clean out the barn from the horses. Our property goes downhill even further down there. Once you can kind of see the post right there. That's in the tree line. That's in our property line. It goes down the hill probably about, I don't know, 50 more paces, and then makes a 90-degree turn to the right down here. And then after you make that turn down there, there's a whole big, I would say probably 3 to 5 acre pasture that is completely downhill. And it's completely covered with wild blackberries. Crystal and I went down there one morning and picked a buttload of wild blackberries and made a cobbler for 4th of July. So we love that we have that. And for right now, I'm not sure what we're going to do with that area back there, because it kind of it kind of curves up and then it goes like way down at a steep angle. And it goes way down to a creek. There's even down at the bottom where the creek is at, there's a, I know I'm not going to say this right because I don't know, but there's like a well house or a pump house. There's all this black tubing down there that it looks like somebody, it's like a little concrete building that's probably like 4 foot by 4 foot by about, I don't know, 3 or 4 foot tall. And it looks like somebody had tried to find a way to pump that water up from the creek up here. And there's water in it, but I just don't think that there's like enough water in it to make it like something that would be a sustainable water source for us. It's just, it's a creek, but I'm not going to go down to the creek to videotape that. So our daughter Sam and I and our grandson Jackson, back before it was, I think it was right after we moved in, right at the beginning of April, they came over and was hanging out one day. And so the three of us decided to just hike down there just to see what was down there. And so this was before everything was turning green. It was before everything was growing up. And there was, it was pretty much just trees. And the ticks weren't really out then. And I know I keep saying ticks, but I'm telling you straight up, like, we got ticks, like lots of them. And we pretty much in this area, we have deer ticks, like wood ticks, or what people call them, dog ticks or whatever. And then we have Lone Star ticks. So I don't like ticks. They don't, even though they're like little 8-legged creatures, they don't freak me out like spiders do. But I don't like them. So anyway, we hiked down there to the creek, and we actually made it to the point where the two creeks come together, but there was so much brush. And it wasn't even like super leafy trees because the green stuff hadn't really started growing yet. It was more, it was just branches and stuff grown up so much in a big thicket that you couldn't get through it, to come around, to go around the corner of the property down there and come up the other side. So we just had to kind of turn around and come back up the hill. But when we went down there exploring, that's when I found that little building that I think somebody tried to, establish a way to pump water up the hill. Or maybe they were pumping water up to where that pond was at, because ponds that aren't spring fed, they typically have to find another way to get water into them. So maybe that was the whole deal, was pumping water up out of that creek to put into the pond. I don't think, obviously it didn't work because we don't have a pond. So maybe sometime in the fall, or even closer to winter, like November or December or something, Randy and I will take a walk down there and do some videotaping and just show you what's down there. It's really pretty. It's really quiet and peaceful. And I almost kind of wish that there was like a little bench down there that you could just go down there and sit and, maybe, I don't know, read a book, read your Bible, meditate, whatever. It's a nice little place, but again, it's like seriously steep downhill. Yeah, I still need to go to the other corner of the property, and so yeah, I'm going to do that pretty soon. All right, so this area, well, okay, let me get oriented here. Right there is my neighbor's little trailer. Our house is on the other side of that. Our property completely surrounds her. That's our pasture right there. And then it comes up. You can see the tree line right there. If you go down into the tree line, that's where the creek is, down in there. And that's our property line. So when we moved out here, I wanted this area right here to be an orchard. And I got advised that I probably should not have an orchard this far away from the house. I don't know. But so this tree, there's a tree right there, and this tree right here, we're already here. One of those is a cherry tree. I can't remember what the other one is. And then we planted 2 apple trees and a peach tree. Check this out. Let's see if I can find it. Yep, right here. Check this out. Billy, Michelle, William. Look what I've got growing there. See right there? And there's some right there. Where's it at? Yeah, right there. And there's some over here. Right there. Comfrey. It's coming up. I planted it on each side of these trees. Now I wish that I had planted it out further, but I didn't, and it's growing. So, anyways, this is the side of our property that runs along the road. And, hold on just a minute. Let me get through here. As you can see, there's orange X's painted on these trees. That has happened recently. They have so much from the center of the road that belongs to the state or whatever. So they're going to cut that down, and there's nothing that we can really do about that. However, I am going to try to reach out to someone and see if they will, after they chip all those trees up, come and dump them for me to use. So maybe they will. I don't know. We'll see. So this area down through here is our property, or part of our area. So it's like back in there that you can see, that's where our property line is at. The creek goes back down into that area. And so this whole area right here, we're thinking about using our pigs to clear this out too. And you can see right there, see if I can zoom in on it. Right there is our house. And this is all of the road frontage that we have.
Hi everybody.
We should probably stop swinging. I think it like makes the video weird or something. Yeah. So anyway, all of that was just a big overview of our before. So hopefully in a year we'll be able to compare this video to whatever's going on in a year, and we're hoping there'll be a big difference or some changes, whatever. Like I said, go check out the Modern Yeoman, him and his wife. I don't know, what do they call her? The Yo Woman? I don't know. But go check out his channel, and Yeoman is Yoeman. But yeah, go check out his channel because he's got a lot of good information. And y'all quit it. Just stop. Go check out his channel. He's got a lot of great information, and like I said, he's a really good storyteller. I think you'll be entertained. And he shows you the good, the bad, and the ugly. So whatever's going on, he talks about it. Yeah. It's starting to get dark. Today was much cooler than it has been this week, thank God. You got anything else you want to say?
Take a shower, go to bed.
Yeah, we're tired. Homesteading's a lot of work, man. All right, well, y'all have a terrific day and be blessed.